Hey there, fam. How's it going? Another episode of the Midweek Motivation. How y'all doing? Y'all having a great week so far? You're just getting after it. I know it's midweek. Maybe you fall into that slump. You may get a little tired, but don't give up. Don't go and just cut yourself short. Keep pushing and keep getting after it. Yeah. So, word for today. The word for today is one that was quite interesting because it actually came out from a conversation I was having with God, right? And it was about, making moves. And I was like, all right, God, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, right? And in that, obviously, it's good to have, a good circle, good people around you. I want to start telling, my core group, like, hey, guys, this is what God's been speaking to me about. I want to talk about this, next podcast, all that good stuff, right? Great people to help motivate and just to clear up some things. But then I started thinking, right? And our pastor had dropped something about, when what you reap is what you sow. And I started thinking more deeply into that, which led me into this conversation. What are you sowing, right? Because if what you reap is what you sow, are you sowing into your finances? Are you sowing into your happiness? Are you sowing into the exact thing that you've been pushing and dreaming for, right? Dreams are all dreams, it's all great and stuff like that. But they're only dreams until you write it down. The Bible says in Habakkuk 2:2, write down, in tablets, on stone, make it plain, make down the vision, make it plain. And when I thought about that, it made me made me think that maybe, right, we're saying we want to get these things. We're saying we want to do this and that. And we want to lose weight. We want to better our marriage. We want to better, our activity. We want to better our business, whatever it might be. But are we really sowing into that? Are you putting in the time? Are you putting in the hours? Are you putting in the necessary effort and push and drive and fight behind it, right? And we have to be careful because sometimes we go and we're like, Lord, I want to do this, right? I want to move mountains. I want to go and evangelize. And I want to, Lord, put people in my path I can speak to. And then God does that. And then we're like, well, hold on, God, they're a little scary. Or you know what, God, they're a little outside my comfort zone. Well, God did his part. Now the move's yours, right? It's your move. And when I started looking at it that way, when I started thinking about it that way, I was like, Lord, help me. Give me the clarity to see if hey, what can I be doing better? And I talked about this before, but what can I be doing better? Do you want me to go and clean this up? Should I be putting more content out? Should I be speaking more? Should I be dropping, not just video format, at least for me, video format. Should I also do written format? How can I do it? And we can apply that to every different aspect of your life, right? Let's say the gym. You know what, God, I'm going, 3 times, in the week. I'm going even harder than that. Lord, I'm going 5 times to the gym because sometimes we're going full send. But then are you getting enough sleep? Are you getting enough water? Are you eating properly? Lord, I want to grow my business. Well, are you taking courses? Are you going the extra mile when everyone goes home, at 5 or 6? Are you staying till 7 or 8? Right? Obviously, if you have the ability to do that. But are you making time for it? Now, I was watching another podcast that had nothing to do with this kind of word like this, but it kind of tied in because God does amazing things about creatives and how it's hard to start a business when I have a normal job of 9 to 5. Well, the guy was speaking, I can't remember his exact name, so I apologize, but he said that he'd work his 9 to 5 and then his 5 to 9. And when I thought about that, that's interesting, right? He'd work his job, right? He focused, he helped, get his family, get his bills paid, all that good stuff. But he'd get home, and then from 5 to 9, he'd work on the business. And I thought, well, that's clever because you put your 9 to 5 in, right? You put your full day's hours in. Well, I'm not saying to dedicate another, go to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning, but then maybe you should go and put 2 hours in. Put that a little extra mile. Those little things, those little details that you're doing can differentiate you from someone else, right? You're putting in the extra work in your company, at your job, and then your manager's like, you know what? You two are together, in most of these things, but you know what? You go the extra mile. I always see you staying 45 minutes extra. You know what? I see you getting a little early. I get you. I see you doing the details. You know what? You always have your desk organized. We'll do something as simple as that. Your organizational skills are on point. Well, you know what? I see that when you're very complimentary when you talk to other people. You make sure you make a good eye contact. I'm giving examples, right? Outside just the the media aspect of it. Let's say you're in school. You know what? Your teacher could see. Oh, wow. You know what? You always go and try to look for extra credit. You could have a great, level and you could be getting A's, but you're always looking for extra credit. You always try to do better. What are we doing, right, that can help us move forward? It's on us. God will provide the way for us. He'll open that path for us, but it's your move, right? It's our move. What are we doing? God is placing us in front of us. And I'll use a good example, right? And we used it multiple times. When Moses had to go and he had to cross the Red Sea. See, God split the seas. They still have to walk through it. right? There's things that God is providing. He's giving us in front of us. He's opening up that path. He's providing a way, but we still have to take that step. Yeah, so that's the challenge I want to put on, because I know I put it for myself, and I want to put it, just as a daily reminder of, hey, can I push a little bit more? I'm not saying to go and let's say, you're at the gym and you put in 2 nights, put in 6 hours and just no, obviously go and, refresh yourself, spend time with your family, your loved ones, relax, do all that stuff. But do a 1%. If you do 1% every single day, you can get better. If you do 1%, you know what? I might not be perfect at this, but I'm gonna get 1% better tomorrow. And if we do that again and again, before you know it, at 1%, day by day, there's 365 days. You're 365 days, into whatever your project you're doing. That 365% better than when you start off, right? It doesn't have to be January 1st, a New Year's resolution, or start today, right? That famous quote: "It's either one day or day one. The choice is yours." That quote, many people have said it before and I've quoted it, but I remember when I first heard it, it was from this guy named Aaron Brimhall. He's a photographer, videographer, creative, all this stuff like that. You guys might know who he is. Free shout out to him. But he said that he's like, it's either one day or day one. The choice is yours. And that was ooh, that's a really nice catchy way of saying it. But it is. It puts the pressure on you. How much pressure do you want to go? Maybe you don't want to. Maybe right now you're not in the mental space, in the physical space, financial space to go and give it 110%. All right, so start at 25. Start giving a little bit, right? And maybe that little bit is all you have, and that's still you giving 100%, right? The Bible says that people are giving money to as an offering, and these high priests, and they're giving all this money. Look, I gave this amount, I gave that amount. This little widow, boop, puts in like 2 pennies in there, roughly like that. And Jesus says she's given everything. She's given the most. Why? Because that's all she had. So if all you have is 2 hours in the day to go and dedicate to this project, then you're giving everything you have, right? So don't go and look down at oh man, but everyone else is doing this. You're not everybody else. You're you, and that's what makes you unique. Right? Because God can take that 2%, those 2 pennies, that little percent you put in there, that 1%, and then multiply it. He did it with fish. So if he can do it with something like that, something physical, what makes you think the dreams you have, the vision that you have, that he's placed inside of you, what makes you think he can't multiply that? He can't open up assets for you. He can't open up resources for you. Yeah? So this is a challenge. Go push forward, do 1% better, because the move is yours. And I believe that you guys, all the fam watching this, are going to get after it even better than you guys did yesterday. And a month from now, a year from now, in 2025, you're going to be like, you know what? I took one day, I decided to wake up and do this and move forward, and wow, look how far I've come. Yeah? Don't get discouraged. Keep pushing after it. Keep getting after it. Yeah? I love you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of these talks. I'll see you all next week. Stay safe, and as always, make it the best day ever.